So Scott, I have a question.
Oh, there it is. It was like I pressed the button, but it didn't change. You have questions, we have answers.
Yes. I have a question as to, with regard to the smithing choice that you gave Rena, how that affected this weapon.
It's a really good question. Rena rolled a total of a 15 with her smithing check. She saw the thing come to an end. All of her work, she heated it up. She finished kind of tapping the rest of the work into place. It was loud, and it was a long process. She actually rolled Constitution to make it an extended process. Lasted a considerable amount of time. God damn it. I wish I had a button that would also adjust the music volume at the same time as everything else. Because I literally click one button over here, and the music is controlled over there. I have Stream Deck.
Stream Deck, that's what it is.
I have Stream Deck. But
you can set it up to where it does that.
But it would affect the way I have OBS's music settings set?
You can set it up to where it does that, yeah.
You're probably right. But I'm just going to say fuck you anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably like a toggle, too. I could probably have it so it's like, oh, volume this, volume this, volume this, volume this, You're probably right, Tyler. God damn it. I'll have to look at it after the stream. All right, so thank you, Josh. Moving on, so you finish, and then you finish up your work with, taking and etching in your own little, I don't think you ever drew it yet, Rena, but your own little, like mark, like ding, 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 which I won't make you describe.
Alert, it's a cat.
Oh, that's right. Which I was going to say I won't make you describe in case you don't know, but you do know, and unfortunately it's an obnoxious fur ball that likes to put its tail in your face when you just want to enjoy some soup after a long day of work.
Yeah. I want her to put my insignia on it, dang it.
It's just a forked tongue.
That's not what it is. You've seen what it is, Scott. It's the symbol we looked up when we were building the character.
Oh,
that's very phallic. I wish you didn't choose that.
Yeah, well, I sent you that link 3 weeks ago. It's not my fault you just opened it right now, Messy. So you finish up the job, and you etched it in, you cooled it down. Honestly, the axe head looks great. It is truly beautiful. As to whether or not it's magical, we can kind of figure that out, I suppose, a little bit later. The only thing is it still needs a haft that's worthy of it. And nothing here seems all that great. You could totally grab just like one and kind of like ding, 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 and kind of like, wedge it into place or whatever. That way you could at least use the axe if you want to, because it's a battle axe. Yeah. But it's not a particularly good one.
I'll just grab it just to have something for the time being.
Sure. So, you grab one and kind of like finish putting the whole thing together. Orpheus. While you're outside kind of like keeping guard, looking about, so on and so forth, one of the things that you noticed, my apologies, I started drinking coffee before I started yawning. God damn, it didn't work. So,
Ophios, just to paint the picture real quick, Ophios is basically saying that this is a hut, right?
No, this is a smith's workshop. So this is actually a full-blown building, walls, ceiling.
Okay, so he'd be just outside the door, kind of leaning against, kind of picking his teeth with a dagger, like playing a role here, trying to look like a guard who is chilling there like nothing's going on.
And eventually, another guard would come walking up, creeping towards, seeing you there. You kind of make out corner of your eye, like looking off in that direction. Behind him, you're pretty sure you see two other movements, like in the shadows. Like he didn't approach alone. He's got backup with him as he's slowly trying to make his way towards you. Not sneakily, approaching cautiously. Clearly looking to see who the hell you are outside this building.
Ophios will just say, "Fine nights, gentlemen."
That does not put him at ease at all. And so, yes, fine nights.
Is that not a performance?
He wasn't laughing. He's just picking his teeth.
No, it's just the instinct of yours.
Just fine nights, gentlemen, right?
Like,
just picking his teeth with a dagger.
Rena's, you made some really good soups today.
Quit making the laugh. He doesn't laugh.
Makes everything come off as sinister and sarcastic. Like, Messy, that's a really nice outfit.
Oh, thank you. Wait, what?
Sorry. And so you say that to him, and it doesn't exactly ease his concerns or anything, but when he gets a bit closer and you're clearly not hiding or have a weapon in hand or anything like that, and then he recognizes that you're also wearing the armor. Oh, you're just another guard. Before he gets that kind of like recognition, he says, not sure how fine, fucking cold. And then like he realizes who you are, and then it's kind of like his guard drops, and it's like, oh, hey, who the hell's in there? Gesturing towards the building and all the noise behind you. There's billowing smoke up in the skies, the ting, 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 ting.
Ah, yes. I found myself the slaves and used to works in here. Figured they could tune up my weapons after, a few wears and tears.
Deception check, please, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he believes you. There's no reason not to. And he's like, huh, who the hell's working on who the hell's doing it for you? I thought they all escaped. Kind of like trying to like look around, see if there's like a window or something you can look into.
Found one screens about, downs a ways, but worthwhiles. They didn't run, they just hits.
And is this one of them?
Yes.
And they're just working for you?
Well, after a few beatings.
He nods. He's like, kind of feel bad for him, but laws are laws. And he says, if I give you some weapons, will you work on these ones too?
He'll look at him and go, why is not? It's not me's workings.
You think we're still getting paid?
Good questions. I would assume so, as we're still workings.
Oh, listen, I'm going to leave you my stuff here. I'm going to tell the guys over there they can go do whatever they want to do. Maybe they want theirs sharpened up too. But you see that house across the way right there? That building across the way right there? He gestures towards one of the buildings across the way. He's like, I had to go in there before, break up a thing going on. I know for a fact they smuggled in some nice material that they made a mattress out of. I'm going to bed in that fucking house. So while my stuff's getting worked on, I'm going to take a nap. You get an eye on things?
Sure things. And he'll just kind of wink at him and say, takes your rests.
He goes off, talks to the other two. One of the other guys that was with him kind of like, walks off. And the other one comes over with him and is like, yeah, I work on mine too. Like drops him by your feet. Like you happen to be some sort of servant. You feel clearly you're wearing the armor too. And they both end up going off to that house over there to sleep. So.
Ovius will just kind of sit there picking out his teeth and be like, just tosses those in the door.
I'll just see all this, like, all these weapons fly through. Is there anything? I'll just, like...
It's probably
like,
armor,
like, say
too.
back, I'll just say, anything you want? Or see anything you like?
Ophios will just respond and smile at you and shut the door.
So they're legit sleeping in that building across the way. Ophios, do you do anything about that?
Temptings? But... Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. It comes out now. It just becomes normal.
Oh, no. Your poor girlfriend.
Tempting, but
Yes, let's watch this Netflix.
Ophios is going to stand by his friend who's in there. He doesn't want to leave her while she's
Okay, cool.
working.
Which is probably a good thing, because at another point in time, other people end up coming in the other direction. And you catch them not walking down the street, whistling and twirling a yo-yo over your head or whatever you're doing beforehand, right? This time you actually catch them as they're sneaking into the building, and you end up having to engage them to stop them from going after Rena. Which is not a big deal, because the simple fact of the matter is you're better than these guards if you get the drop on them. We've seen you time and time again in combat. Unless they throw a shit ton of them at you, I ain't gonna do nothing. So needless to say, Rena, you could have been interrupted, but Tyler ends up stopping other people from coming by here because you were literally attracted to the guards in the area as they're like, smoke in the sky, loud ringing noises. Let's see what this is. And he actually kind of handles that situation. It's not easy, but job gets done. Eventually, morning comes around, late morning, and now it's nearly noontime when you finish. Because don't forget about how late into the night it was that you started. Both of you are exhausted, and the sun's in the sky. They eventually came over, Tyler, and they like, "You're not done with the weapons yet?" And you're like, "No, it takes times, goes and comes back, or whatever you do, right?" And
he would kind of be slumped there and be like, "This slave slows. Only once takes times." Kind of like irritated that they came back and asked.
Mm-hmm. And they F off. Like, you made your correct deception check beforehand and everything. There's a reason to question you now, right? So they go off and eventually she's done and comes out with a new hafted battle axe. Rena, do you dispose of your old battle axe? Because it's not as fancy.
I mean, how much can I carry?
Suppose you put it into... Do you have a bag of holding, or he retained the haversack? Which one do you have, Rena?
I have the haversack. She has the
I
bag.
have the bag of holding.
You can literally just drop the old one into the bag of holding.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll do that, and then I'll just equip the
Okay.
other.
You're gonna like at some point in time, you guys are gonna get stopped by some sort of border patrol, and they're gonna be like, "All right, let's," and they're literally gonna grab her bag, just like pulling out like this collection
Stop
of.
after
100
stop
axes,
after
like-
stop.
So many axes.
Oh, it's like Mary Poppins' bag of weaponry. So, it would be funny if Mary Poppins like reached in and like pulled out like a 50 cal sniper rifle, like. So anyways,
They just left their weapons, right?
correct.
Okay.
And you guys leave. And you eventually head down to Yondis. You're not dumb. You picked your way quietly, slowly, carefully. Eventually made your way back down by the lake, where nobody really seems to bother you guys fairly consistently. When you get down by the lake, as you approach, there's actually like a little fire that's down there. And you walk up, and there's Vroga. Not Vroga. What's his name?
Baku?
Vaku. Vaku is sitting there, and he's like,
Just pull on funny one into the call.
"You wanna share a meal?
Yeah, grab him.
Grab him.
You wanna share a meal with me?" No, I'm just kidding. No, you make your way down there. There's nobody down there, and you can sit up your own. Okay.
I was
So-
like, oh, grab. Oh, he's so mad.
Yeah.
No, he's following the tides of war. So, and you can. Day comes around next day. They still ain't back yet, but you know.
So, as soon as I get back, backtracking a little bit, as soon as I get back, I think I'm next, right? I think they know this guy, whoever this guy is that just killed my two friends. He's all knowing, he's all powerful, right? So I just start setting up traps, just everywhere. Put like some spikes here and cover it with some leaves, tripwire here, and then just kind of like try to make sure it's just thin and tight enough that it can't be seen in the rising sun, right? I'm trapping this whole place. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm in the middle of the traps. I'm gonna climb a tree, and I'm going to read my book and wait.
My favorite part is if it actually was them, they would just like fold space around you. And those traps are like fold the space between you and the traps and all the traps.
Yep. I feel like he needs to roll those
He
checks
does.
for making those traps.
He does have to roll. It's survival because you don't have trap making.
Survival sounds good, bro. I've
Cool.
done better.
Cool.
And doesn't he have to roll stealth to hide them, if I remember right when I did the...
All right, I'll roll stealth. That one I can do. How's that?
So they're really well hidden.
Okay.
Anything else, Scott?
No, you're good. So you guys are coming down the mountain when you come. You'll be coming down the mountain when you come. Do me a favor. Roll me a perception check, both of you, but you're exhausted.
So disadvantage. You want to roll first, Rena, or you want me to roll?
No. He's like, can you get the bad luck out of the way so I can steal the good stuff?
It worked.
Got you.
But
Don't
anyways,
worry.
So you are both making your way down there. You don't notice anything as you're coming down. Yonda still isn't here. You don't even see any sign of that there's a camp. You didn't see any sign of Yonda being down here. When all of a sudden, Tyler, you step on a twig that snaps and tightens a rope around your ankle, and then it just tightened around your ankle. You're like,
Oops.
this tightened rope around my ankle. Rena, you're like half asleep. She's like, what the hell is that? And you go over and you end up stepping into like a bit of an area where like you step like a branch like snaps and your foot sinks in, but then like the weaving of other branches underneath that are like so strong you actually don't finish stepping through as the leaves kind of fall off into what would have been a pit. But honestly, again, it was just structured that wicker was just too strong. It actually held your weight. And you're like, okay,
That's fine. Daelric, I'm assuming they made some noise, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, so as soon as they make their noise,
Ophios would immediately react and just slash the rope.
that's fine. In the tree, when I hear our traps go off, I'm going to blindly shoot in the direction I heard the sounds.
No, you can actually. You're in the trap amongst them. You look in the direction, and you see them.
Okay, fine. Then I won't shoot arrows.
Yeah, you're just
blindly.
looking at your book and you just shoot an arrow in that direction.
He's like, Rena had fun. I want my fun.
I was
Can we
assuming I
roll
didn't
like
have a
6
direct line of sight.
disadvantages?
I was assuming I didn't have a direct line of sight, but I was going to shoot with disadvantage because, well, that's
No,
fine.
you have to take the worst of 6 rolls.
All right.
That's what I
So
want.
no. So
No, I won't
so
do it. Go ahead. What are you saying, Daelric? Stop yawning. Come on.
sorry, yawning. My apologies. So obviously that kind of goes off, and they make noise. You notice them. You guys finally notice each other again, which is great. But actually, I entirely forgot Tyler. Rewinding a little bit, you detect magic. Could you Arcana check for something for me? This is rewinding to last night. My apologies. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so normal. Normal Arcana, right?
Yeah, most nonchalant archery ever. Like,
All right, there you go. There's my Arcana.
gorgeous. That sword, it's clearly magical, but you don't know exactly how it works. You don't know anything else. You can't identify it. You can't identify it because it's not magics that you're familiar with enough to be able to even try to identify.
Right.
However, at one point in time, you're kind of like fiddling with the thing and trying to find out how it works. At one point in time, you literally grab the pommel of the blade and you turn it, and the blade starts to get smaller and smaller in your hand until it gets all the way down to like the size of a dagger.
Like a deodorant stick?
And so it's literally the size of a dagger in your hand, shaped exactly the same as it was beforehand, but the size of a dagger. And you're like, whoa. And you try
He's
it.
gonna.
You go
he's
even
gonna-
further with it, and you can literally make it smaller than that. The whole thing is about this big.
He's gonna do the same thing to the other dagger he found because he found that
Nothing.
dagger in the chest. Oh.
Nothing. It had conventional magics on it.
Okay. So, this sword can shrink.
But you have to understand, it's not just the sword, the blade that shrinks. It's the hilt. It's the pommel. It's everything. Mm-hmm. So you literally get this thing that's this big, and you continue to twist it, and now it's like half the size of your pinky.
I
You
could hide
literally-
it anywhere on me.
You literally have this like tiny dagger, but now that it's like so small, before you even try to make it bigger, because you have it so small, it literally is one of those like trying to get your fingers to, like grab the pommel the right way and twist it. It's like so friggin' difficult. Like one of those like tiny obnoxious Lego pieces that you're like, I can't get it right. And eventually, like what this is the night beforehand guards that whole thing. And eventually kind of figure out you can twist it back and have it grows bigger in size and it gets easier and easier, and you can literally twist it until it goes all the way up to you don't know what the small size is because you weren't able to test that down yet. You don't know quite what the biggest size is yet because you don't know what the limits of this magic is, but you definitely get up to the size where it could be like a great sword if you wanted it to.
Oh,
But
wow.
that's like uncomfortable. Like the whole thing is
Yeah.
unwieldy. You can drop it back down so it's almost like a falchion or to a dagger if it's easier to put away. But no matter what form you put it in, it always seems unwieldy to you. Like it would require some training to figure this thing out. Yes,
Oh, okay.
Messy.
Does the weight change?
Yeah, oh yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Appropriately.
I'm gonna put it on here. Magic sword of grow and shrink.
It's not a big oh, Jesus, Noel.
You can just make sure that the blade's sticking out.
So, do not put a dagger in your butt. Like, hold
I
on.
never said
Rita,
I was gonna use
Rita,
it as
do you
a
want to do
butt
this
plug.
the correct way?
I never said
Do
that.
not put a dagger in your butt.
Can I use that same Arcana check on that dagger?
No. That'd be a different check at a different time.
Okay.
Back
That's
to the
just
present.
still in his haversack.
Okay, so you Jesus Christ, roll 60-20. We'll keep lowest one. All right. So in your haversack, you yeah. Next day, you guys notice each other. You see each other.
Oh well, yeah. Well, the dagger's in the haversack. The sword's still like kind of tucked in normally.
Happy
But we
birthday,
just-
sweetheart! 19 minutes ago. Love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You turned a ripe old 29. Yeah, 29. Young and vivacious forever. Woo.
How many? What 29th birthday number is this?
I can't tell you how many 29th birthdays it's been. That's not appropriate.
4?
Anyway, Scott. So
I definitely can't tell you how many 29th birthdays it's been. So don't ask. Okay.
All right.
All right, I won't.
So we just made noise and
We see
Yondis noticed us and we're exhausted. I'm gonna pretend like Ophios is just kind of looking at the ground now, looking for more stupid traps that won't work.
I'll just kind of like hit you like carelessly and just say I told you. Just that.
You told me what?
Rita?
Yes.
Ophius? What, you guys are alive?
That's not my name. Whoever said that.
Ophios? Oaf? Just
Oaf?
Oaf? Anyway, you guys are alive?
You're surprised.
Yes. What surprises you? And then at that, Ophios is gonna reach into the bag and pull out the head and just toss it towards Yondis.
That's the guy. And I'll climb down my tree.
Chop
And,
his head open myself, just kind of proudly. I'll just say.
And I dismembered him s'mores
Oh, was he
as
sleeping?
needed.
He was asleep.
Nose.
Nope.
Caught him by surprise. Gave him the old 1-2 when he wasn't looking.
Nose.
You fought him.
It was kind of a crazy fight.
Ophios will just be like, nothing's out of the ordinaries for me.
You guys don't even look that hurt. You two
Literally, you only see like the little stab wound that Ophios gave to Rena, the 3 damage that's just like in her, like.
Oh, I
I'm not
totally
giving
forgot
you,
about
like, a
that.
thorough-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like stripping you and like checking for bites or anything, right? Like I'm just from the looks, you guys look perfectly fine. So I'm very impressed, by the way. Just because I was muted for the last 2 hours, I just want to say that went really well, I think. Wow.
So I'll just say, what happened?
You guys were in there for a while. I kind of thought you were dead.
Kind of figured you follows. Ophios is just staring angrily at Yondis and is like, I'm tired and you're irritating me.
Well, I thought it was going to be quick, and when I didn't hear you, I didn't hear any fighting or anything, so I just assumed it was.
Magic. That's all he'll say, and Ophios will just kind of wander to go kind of like sleep.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot about that. Okay.
Reading about what? These things?
Magics. A lot of them. A lot of this book here. Shaking the book I've been reading for like the past 3 days. A lot of good stuff in here, actually. Learned a lot, I think. Wait, so you really, just you two, huh?
Yeah, it was
In
just
a-
the 2 of us. But it wasn't like a normal fight. It was really off. I don't know, and I can't explain because I don't really understand, but Elphios was moving really strangely, and so was this thing, kind of motioning towards the head or whatever. And
Like-
so, but only when we were further apart and in certain areas of the house. I can't explain it. It's super odd, but
Ophios will just kind of say, magics, old magics.
Right.
He's just, Ophios is just like kind of slunk on the ground, seated right now, just like, I'm done.
Well, you guys rest up. I'll keep watch.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
buys
thanks for
the
not
ways.
leaving. I'll say.
Ophios will just kind of look at Giannis and know, buys the ways. I once goes backs. There's more to find. And he'll start pulling out the books that he had and just kind of stacking them up before he, like, kind of chills out.
Yeah, but you didn't mean now. You meant in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you guys get some rest. I'm gonna just gonna go back in the tree, I guess, and I'll make sure you guys weren't followed or anything.
An important thing to note is quick glance at the books that he does pull out at one point in time when you look at them. He doesn't have that book with him.
Okay.
Right.
Good to know.
Giannis had mentioned that book to Ophios, right?
I think he did. Yeah. When he described what happened before about reaching for a book on the table and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That cat is loving you,
I
Daelric.
know.
That is a happy cat.
Oh, it's a falling cat. She sees it from upside down. Jeez.
Wow.
Like
too
an
much
evil
love.
mastermind with his cat.
What-
So-
sitting there.
Ophios is kind of just gonna take a quick glance at the books again as he pulls them out and just kind of eventually just lets exhaustion take him over as he falls asleep.
You guys rest, day, 2 days, whatever it is. Honestly, pretty much everything up in this area that you were hoping to do has been accomplished. The only other thing you were thinking about was if you wanted to go north to try to find whatever sword it was that you were trying to get beforehand, or if you want to go south to the city that you said you were going to meet Nightingale in.
So it's the
So
next
after
couple days or what?
resting, yeah.
It's up to like a day and a half or so.
So while you guys are resting up, I think Yondis is going to be more so than usual. He doesn't really do much when you guys rest, and when he's keeping watch, he kind of just reads his book and like looks around every now and then. But this
Ophios,
time,
I will say
he's-
Ophios rests uneasy because he keeps waking up to make sure you're still there.
so when you wake up to look, I guess I would be Yondis is exercising for once. While you guys are resting, he's doing sit-ups, he's push-ups, pull-ups. He's keeping himself awake for hours at a time. And when he's getting tired, he'll sit down and read his book for a few minutes and then get back up and do it again. And he's been like he's sweating. He's working hard.
Cool.
Ophios,
Yeah.
Ophios, out of fun in the middle of the night, uses his second spell slot to hex him and hex him for dexterity.
Second spell slot. You got 2 spell slots, buddy.
Yeah, my second spell because I hexed the other dude in battle.
No, short rests, man. They happen all the time. Yeah.
So when he's and he'll concentrate it while he's asleep.
No, but so anyways, you're and it's
Just
a good
kidding.
thing he's doing that to you. It's a good thing because it makes it more difficult, and you gotta up that
Yeah.
game, bro. Like how much you lift,
The
bro.
harder it is for me, the harder I go at it. Yondis is very motivated.
Okay.
He's going for it.
Yonda saw P90X video, and he's like, dude, that dweeb has those abs. I'm so much better looking than him. Not looking at
That
the
nerd
tape
killed that
sauces.
guy. No, so yeah,
That snake-looking dude killed him. What is this?
Yondis
Gotta step my game up.
is very driven right now to be his best self, and yeah, that's all I'll say.
Okay. So
He's
and-
mad. He's mad.
So after the day and a half or whatever passes, do you guys choose to go north in pursuit of some sword, or do you choose to go south in pursuit of where you said you were meeting Nightingale?
Ophios will speak up and say, just say, still heading north. Perhaps finds the hilts for, and kind of gestures to Rena's new axe.
Can't she take the hilts off the old one?
I could, but it's not good enough for this kind of weapon.
Curse
Then you could-
Volt's place of forgers. Place of smiths.
Smiths and
Place, place of weapons that
Alright,
helps
yeah.
kills more of what we just killed.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I agree with Fangs.
That's his name from now on, Fang. Okay, so you guys are gonna head north then. So you guys are gonna start heading north, and as a reminder, getting up there is not crazy far from where you guys are. I'm just looking at my travel times thing again that I had written down. It looks like
Did anyone give me that dagger? Did I not get the dagger?
Nope, you don't have the dagger.
Okay, just make
It's in Ophios's backpack.
Alright.
He hasn't identified it yet, so he's not going to give it to
Okay,
anyone.
that's what I thought. I just didn't remember who was holding it.
I think your party's average speed is 30, right? So you count this 40 because this is
Yeah, I'm
considered
30.
Rena's area. So, and this is like kind of a hillocky terrain, more of like a hillocky terrain. So that's going to be each hex is, sorry, double checking right here. So it's not like it's crazy long to get from A to B. It's only 4 hexes. It's 24 hours of travel. That's realistic. If you push yourselves hard, you can do that in 2 days. But more likely, you do that in 3 days of travel. You're able to get to Cursefall on foot from where you are. And it's again because Rena knows these lands so well. She can kind of like guide you through them, the best paths, etc., etc. You're not even ever worried about food or water because it's literally one of those things where at one point in time, like Yondas would be like, finishing up his cantina, still not quite accustomed to the whole tracking your own supplies thing because he's so used to living in the city life, and he just recently upped his own workout. It's like his desire for this stuff. So he'd like literally be like, "Hey, my cantina's kind of coming around a bend where Rena just will point at a stream going by, or and for food, very often it's like, oh, okay, you find berries and whatnot, or just kill a rabbit." Whatever it might be, or catch a rabbit with Yondas's awesome trapping skills.
And Ophios during the walk is going to play around with the size adjustment weapon. See how well it does when it's small. See how well it does when it's giant. Trying to work at wielding it.
I think everyone gets around that, around 13, 14. I think all the boys try that.
Yeah, just playing around how you twist, how you
check out the different sizes. Yeah.
Work at writing your name in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah, left-handed.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're practicing with the sword as you guys go. Do you ever present that dagger to Bessie, by the way, or are you just keeping that for yourself for a while?
He would eventually do an Arcana check on it.
Sure, you're actually welcome to do that. My apologies, I forgot we didn't do that yet.
Yeah.
You unfortunately don't know what it is.
Nope.
Hey, wait a
Then
second.
Ophios will kind of hold the dagger and be like, "Oh yes, Yondis, I found this, but I don't know what it does. Perhaps I holds on to it. Finds
Is it
out
magical?
first. Yes.
Hmm.
Perhaps we find somebody who could helps me identifies it."
Now, Daelric, I am not proficient in Arcana. Is there possibility I could do an Arcana check? Because I've been reading my Arcana book.
Not yet.
All right, we'll get there. Okay.
All right, so moving on. You guys eventually make your way to Cursefall. Like I said, it takes about 3 days' time of hard travel to get there. But Rena knows the area, so she keeps you on track, keeps you on pace. Things are going quite well. You well fed, etc. When you actually get to Cursefall is kind of an interesting town in that one of the things that you notice here is, first of all, it is definitely not a Perrin town. It's definitely Tasian. And unlike the other ones, which were clearly towns that were on the border, this one is clearly a town that knows it's near the border. By that I mean, as you're walking forward, you can see that there are along the border, like as you're kind of like traveling in this direction, you come across small camps, like scout camps, and whatnot. Usually with 6 people in number, but not all 6 are in camp at a time, as different ones are actually out scouting. Of Tesian military units, like scouts, like about here and there as you're traveling through the mountains. Once you get closer and closer to the town, you know that you're getting there because once again, there are like scouts kind of like on the road, like just like little guards like on the road to like see what's coming up this way. But you can then see there's a very beefed up town guard. Now, for a town of this size, it's probably got like a good 2,000 or so people living in it. So it's not like it's teeny tiny. And because it's a mountain town, 2,000 people aren't like spaced out like crazy like they usually are in like a meadow or a forest. It's much more compact, 2,000. So it almost gives like a city like feeling when you finally go into it. But the number of guards they have for this town is like 5 times what you'd usually see. Every one of the guards is armed fairly well and armored fairly well. And you can just tell by the way that they kind of like move, how comfortably they are in their armor and everything. It's one of those things where like, a man could wear a suit, or the suit could wear the man. You know what I mean? So these people clearly are comfortable in their armor. They wear it all the time. They've probably fought in it before and so on and so forth. You kind of get the edge that these are guards that know what they're doing. Moving on. So that's good to know because they are all clearly Tesian. Like the one of the things to notice about Tesiandale is that it is predominantly human. However, it's not solely human. You actually have humans of, first of all, a bunch of different sizes. You actually find humans going from anywhere between, say, like low 6 foot all the way down to a couple of humans that are standing like almost like low 4 feet tall, but they're pretty rare. You still see like short people like that around. You can see that there are a couple of Hafui that happen to live in this area. You see some Perrin that live here too, just like Rena's family was Perrin, and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of different peoples here. The place, before you even get into the walls, they actually do have walls set up because of the war nearby, smells of that burning, like sulfury kind of smell of smelting metals together. It gives that very much like mine town kind of smell to it. You also get off of it, like when you even just walk into the town, the other like like ash and coal like dust that's kind of like settled into the area has painted all the walls and all the buildings, which are mostly comprised of stone, just like dark, like in that ash, that charcoal kind of look to it. Everything is like a darkness. Even the people that are in here, most of them are kind of like splotched with like dirt on their faces, their hands, their clothing. And these are just like normal common people, not like peasants or not like poor people. It's like normal people. You can clearly tell who the higher society is, or travelers, because they have a lot less of this ashy stuff on them, like yourselves, compared to those around. As soon as you walk into the gates, the guards like look you over, check you down. There are 3 Perrin walking in, right? Rena, what are you wearing?
I can't remember.
You get
if
stopped.
I'm wearing... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm wearing the.
Ho, 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 ho! You 3, over here.
Santa Claus?
Sketo Claus. Ho, 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 ho! You kids get off my lawn! Alright.
It's Florida Santa.
Ophios will speak up and say, "What's the problems?"
So, he walks over. He's like, he looks her up and down and says, "Detain her. All of them. Detain all of them." And you see guards coming over and they're drawing their weapons to, let you know that they don't mean to make this a fight. Like, you're surrounded.
Ophios is just going to say, "Hold ups. What's the problems? Speaks, not fights."
We're not gonna.
Probably the armor.
Yes, we're not gonna fight. We're gonna go talk.
Fairs. Let's go talk then.
You start walking with you, kind of like leading you away from the area, and as they walk with you guys, the guards kind of like that. There's like 2 guards for each of you, plus the other one that's leading up front. So there's 7 of them in total. As they're walking with you, each one of them is going to like look to start grabbing weapons off your persons. So like you said, you have 2 with you. One of the 2 for each of you starts going to grab your weapons from you.
Ophios instinctively is going to have already shrunk the sword to being as
I
small as
imagine
he
you don't
could.
travel with that. I imagine you don't typically travel with that. How big do you want it to be?
Like as small as he could make it that it's wieldy for him so that he can hide it on his person.
Gotcha. So you can even just go like hand size. That way you don't have to worry about like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna. So
Yeah.
we'll just say about the size of your hand, sort of a thing.
Yeah, and
Don't swallow.
he's just kind of holding his hand like it, not so he has to like squeeze his fist around it, but just kind of so he can kind of float it in his hand. You know how like a magician palms a card? That's how he's doing it with that weapon right now.
Some point in time, he's gonna make it so small, like hide it in a grape or like a date, and somebody's gonna come in and just like,
Attack now!
It's actually an interesting way to kill somebody. So
Chris, then he has to get the tweezers afterward to find it. You know,
Yeah.
he's used to that though. He's used to that. So, anyways, you,
Daelric, when you
and
mentioned,
also yeah, Ophios obviously is gonna stay attached to his crystal.
yeah. So they just take your weapons. Rena, you okay with that?
I mean, no, but I'm not gonna fight them about it.
Okay. So, and we all know Messi's well, a bitch boy. So we're
are they gonna search in the bags for the weapons too,
Nope.
or
nope. Literally, don't even take your bags off of you.
can I keep a holdout?
Yeah, you probably have one in your bag.
No. Like, can I hide my daggers on me? Let them take the bow and hide the daggers.
I have the dagger in my haversack, so
If the daggers weren't already hidden,
they're off you.
I mean,
I imagine your magical one is literally in like a bag.
Oh,
But you
no,
don't have that one equipped.
yeah, I'm talking about the two on my side. I want to give up the bow, and then while I'm giving the bow up, try to hide them somewhere.
Sure.
Like,
Sleight
move
of
them
hand.
around while he's hiding
Sleight
down.
of hand with disadvantage because you're surrounded by guards that are actively taking weapons, so you're trying to hide them.
I mean, I got a lot of clothes.
Not a terrible roll.
It's not horrible.
It's not good enough for
You
eight
can roll a
guards.
luck.
I'm
You
gonna
can
roll-
a
No,
luck.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna roll
that's
with
all right.
that. I'm gonna roll with that advantage.
I
Is
doubt
it an
you'll roll
open
below
roll?
12.
It wasn't a jump and roll. Would you like to luck roll your check?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why do you want me to? It's okay. Just have him take the daggers.
Maybe you'll win.
That's
I don't
a
care,
lie.
Daelric. It's fine.
Okay. So
I'm not gonna waste a luck die.
they notice it and they take the daggers. Like, hey, what are you doing? And the other guard,
Oh,
the one that's
sorry, I
not
was
taking the
just-
weapons, the one that's like watching, like holds his sword up to you. Things actually, you guys can see it's super tense between that guard and him for a moment. Like things could come to blows very quickly. Do either of the two of you act in any way, or do you just keep to yourselves? And what do you do, Messi?
Ophios would probably speak and say, "Calm yourselves. He's a nobleman. He's
I
not
was just
used to
handing it
this."
to you. I say as I hand him the dagger.
Yeah, you gotta roll a deception with disadvantage on that one.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh my god!
Daelric, whatever you want, Daelric. Anything
The guy's
else?
actually like, he's like, calm down. He's a noble. He's like, I was just trying to hand it to you. Rena doesn't really need to do anything. He's like, oh, and he actually like looks back and forth. He's like embarrassed, and he's like, then give him up then, you know. And the
Yeah.
guard that was kind of like leading you guys over there like rolls his eyes like fucking idiot. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where you know they kind of hand it over. He looks dumb for a second, and then you guys just continue walking. They lead you to an area that's not all the way to the goddamn barracks or like that, but they have a couple of like little holding areas nearby, like little almost like cells kind of built into the side of the walls that are here, that are just designed to hold like a couple people, nothing crazy. So they do put all three of you in there, but it's kind of tight. Like one of those, two of you can sit down, but one definitely has to stand. You know,
Ophios will stay standing.
like the whole place is like maybe like 8 cubic feet with one bench in it. You know, like it's kind of tight. You know, so Ovio stands. The other two sit down.
Sure.
They leave you guys locked in there for about an hour while they deliberate or do whatever it is that they're doing. Then eventually a female guard is going to come up to the door, look inside, kind of like judging each of you. Then she opens the door and says,
Get her.
and she jumps on top of you guys and starts stabbing all of you. Ha ha ha. No. So she looks at she opens the door and looks at three of you and says, "Well, I can see why it is that they detained you. Care to explain yourself?" She says exactly to Rena.
Ophios will kind of stepping in. They never
Ugh.
explains whys.
Ugh.
She says
What's-
she says the question's still open. Do you care to explain yourself?
Looking at Rena,
Yeah.
and Rena can answer.
I'll just say, look, we don't want any trouble. We're not here to, cause panic or anything. I can see why this would make you nervous, kind of gesturing to what I'm wearing.
Ophios will suddenly perk up and be like, "Oh, yes, that's wise, right?"
I'll say, yeah, it's pretty unsettling around here considering everything that's been happening.
A Perrin woman walks in wearing Perrin armor. Mind you, the woman standing before you is human, but I mean, she could pass for Perrin, you'd think, like a young one.
Baku a human?
Vaku was
remember.
human, yeah.
He was? Was he the only human I've met?
No.
No, like by name.
Oh, in game, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say, we've been through a lot of altercations, I won't lie, but this is not mine. I have no affiliation to the Perrin guard.
Where'd you get the armor?
Something I picked up along the way, found, abandoned.
We were ambushed, perhaps, traveling, minding our own business, and, well,
We drank
happened
with the
upon
guards.
the armors.
We drank the guards and won it in a bet. And then I'll nudge Ophius, being like, shut the fuck up.
Do you have anything to corroborate your story that each of you are not Perrin military?
We could always do another bet.
Ophios just kind of looks at Yondis like,
Oh, actually, Daelric, don't I have, like a paper? A scroll? With my house on it? Or something? Or a ring. I have a ring.
Oh, yeah. You can, you do actually have your own paperwork, kind of proving who you are. You can actually show that to them.
I would absolutely
Kat, you're
love
on
to do
top of
that.
my wire. You're making it so I have to like bend down to not pull the wire out of my goddamn jack.
just pick up the cat.
I keep
and
trying
move
and
it
then I
off of the
pause. And then
Daelric, open a window, pick up the cat, and throw it out the window.
Unfortunately, I'm in a basement, so that wouldn't go very far. But there are coyotes, so one could.
Oh, okay,
No.
perfect. Yeah. So get a coyote, throw it in the basement.
You guys are speaking about very bad things.
Come on, could you? Thank you.
fine. I
It's
got
like bringing a dog for a walk, and it's like leash gets caught. I said it keeps getting caught behind like the reverse
Yeah.
paws. Like, God damn it, you stupid cat! I'm gonna set you on fire.
Hating cats is the best part about being a cat owner, I think. Hey, what were we talking about?
I don't
My
know.
paperwork. Yeah, hand my paperwork.
Oh yeah, you hear the people. Ophios, I actually forgot to ask you one question.
Yep.
You were locked in there for an hour. How do you cast Disguise Self?
It's a reaffirmed thing about every hour.
Yeah. But it's verbal and somatic. How do you
Correct.
do that?
So he kind of grabs a hold of the crystal to kind of cover it up, and he'll just kind of mutter quietly, like to himself, of focusing on the thing that he wants to be disguised as, or the person he wants to be disguised as. So he'll kind of just speak in his native tongue, as his thing glows, and it then maintains his form.
You guys would, of course, see that. It's right in front of your face. You're like, oh, hey, all right, what are you saying, buddy? Oh, okay. Because it's an 8 by 8 by 8 foot area, so it's very tight.
Yeah.
And Yondis is just dropping SPDs. So you she's sitting there before you, and you present the paperwork. And she takes the paperwork and looks it over and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was in front of nobility."
Mistakes like this happen all the time, if you wouldn't believe it.
Is
And
this real?
these two are with, yeah, it's super real.
So these are your guards?
Well, one of them is
Which one?
the parent, the one with the armor.
They're both parent.
The one with the armor, the woman, sorry. The one with the armor.
Does she not have a name?
It's Rena?
So Rena is your noble guard, Yondis of Peredhel.
In this region, yeah. I got a few. When I travel, I rotate them.
Thank you for your honesty. Shuts the gate, locks it, leaves.
Okay.
A couple
that
more
went well,
hours
guys.
passed. Do you guys
She's
talk
probably
about
just getting the
anything while
key.
you're in there?
Ophios is just gonna look at Yondis angrily, like, that wasn't the right answers. You
It's fine.
basically admitted to the facts that you might be amongst thems. Looking at the armor. Obviously, that's the issues.
No, it's fine.
I'm
That's fine.
trying not to be associated, but
Rena's like,
She's probably just
I'm
getting
actually-
a room ready for us.
I'm actually Tasian. Oh, she's getting a room ready for you, funny enough.
Yeah,
because
she's probably just
eventually
gonna move us to a bigger spot.
the guards come back, and she comes back with them. And this time it's double the guard that you were with beforehand. So there's 12 guards with you plus her, 13 total. And she's like, "You're going to come with us, and we're going to bring you to the barracks."
Yeah, sure, no problem. Come on, guys, let's go.
And she leads you guys across town from the walled area, like the gate cell area where you are, over to where the actual barracks is. And
So
you-
when she takes us out of the cell, I just want to whisper to them. I just want to be like, be very observant of where we're going. Then point to my brain.
I'll just nod.
Ophios will kind of shake his head like, duh. And just kind of count his steps and focus on what he's doing.
and the cat.
All right, so now she can lead us. Don't worry about the cat, Daelric.
It smells. It smells like cat butt. I think it farted. Ugh.
Once
Um,
again,
some
you would
scent.
have seen Ophios have to maintain what he looks like twice before they return.
And then you guys are kind of like walking along. Eventually, bring you into the barracks, and to where the actual barracks cells would be. Which this place is made out of stone. They don't really have foundation-built homes in here. It's not like they're building too deep in because it'd be really, really difficult. So it's actually main floor. They lead you across and over to where cells are, and it's got. This place doesn't have like an infinite supply of money. So it's like one room that's gonna have you guys, but it's much larger. However, before they start letting you guys in there one at a time, they start taking some of your other supplies, backpacks, packs. If you have like shields, anything like that, they start taking it from you guys.
What's the meanings of this?
Just precautionary, she says.
What are you afraid of? There's 20 of yous and 3 of us.
Nothing to be afraid of. We definitely outnumber you if you were going to do something foolish, but being precautionary.
Hey, they think they can take us in a fight. Talking to the two behind me.
Ophios just kind of looks at Yondis just like, you're just a idiot.
He could have said stupid.
No,
But you weren't worth it.
Ophios literally just
That was a
looked.
deliberate idiot.
No, he was just looking at him like you're an idiot, not saying anything.
Oh, okay.
And so you guys give them your stuff freely?
Sure.
Ophios kind of resists. Just keeps asking, "What's the meanings of this?"
I've already told you it's precautionary. That's all. We'll be able
Yes.
we'll be able to talk further in the morning.
It's the mornings.
Yeah.
I take it you're gonna search through my stuffs.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
What about steal-a-scene-its?
Excuse me. If you're talking about who's going to be stealing what, don't you think it's a little hypocritical? I mean, a couple of Perrin come walking into, across the border, war zone, into my town, where you're probably going to eventually enslave everybody anyways, and take the property of everything here. You think that we're going to steal from you? Come on.
No. I'm a noble from a magic items family. We trade magic items. We're here from the border to bring magic items here and back. That's all.
So you're going to give your stuff, or we're going to have to beat it out of you?
You can search it.
She says to specifically Ophios. You guys were
Right,
giving your stuff
Ophios?
already.
Right, Ophios? She can search your stuff, Ophios?
I'll just look at him, shake my head, kind of like just.
We's are
now.
not the ones to be worried about. There are Perrin who lives here. I've seen it. We's have no frets or battles or any issues with yous.
So you're going to give us the stuff, or do we have to get physical? Because you've already pointed out how much we outnumber you.
At this, Ophios is just gonna take a defensive stance, holding on to his back, his stuff.
He really does. Defensive stance, no weapons.
He doesn't want to create a commotion. He's reading the room. Let me roll an insight check on her. To see if
You can
she's
still cast. You can always cast.
Yeah.
So many spells.
But yeah, you're level 2.
When you do that, she's like, ugh. Tom, give me your spear. Laren, and some guy hands her a spear, and somebody else lowers a spear down, and because they're spears, they can line up in the hallway, and literally they line up looking at you guys, but they're not like thrusting or anything. You can see she doesn't want to fight you. She looks past Ophios to the other two and says, you're going to talk sense into him. Nobody has to get hurt here. You're claiming innocence. You're acting pretty guilty.
Honestly, you should probably just hurt him.
She looks at Rena.
Ophios kind of drops his bag and punches Yondis in the face.
Attack roll.
Do it.
Oh my
An arm
God.
strike.
Yeah. What is it? 1 plus strength damage?
I think it's 1d4 plus strength.
No, it's just 1 plus strength. 1d4 would be a lot.
That would be just 1 damage then.
Hang on, 1 point of damage.
Oh. Ouch. Oof. Okay.
Hey, Ophios.
Ophios.
But you dropped your stuff. You dropped your stuff, you said, right?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they took the stuff and
So they took
I
it.
got hit in the face.
They'll take the stuff. They
Honestly,
eventually
it's kind of a win.
they eventually herd you guys into the room, and then they send one.
Ophios would just say, "Be careful with that. I knows what's in it."
She nods. She says, "Don't worry, we're not going to be foolish with your belongings, and if everything checks out, you'll get them all back." And then she sends one guard into the room, just one. They lock the gate behind them, so there's one person there with the three of you. And they're literally coming over and just be like, "All right, arms up. I'm just gonna give you all a pat down real quick. Make sure you're not hiding anything." And they're gonna make a check to see if there's anything hidden on your person. In which case, I have to ask: does anybody have anything
Ophios
hidden on their
still
person?
has the thing in his palm and in his fist.
You can roll me a sleight of hand with advantage because of how small that thing can get. Anybody else hiding anything on their person?
Not anymore. I think I lost it.
Okay.
But
I will
I do wanna
open roll mine.
I do want to strike up a conversation with the guy patting me down.
Sure. What do you say?
Just want to know what his name is in his story. I'm assuming he'll ignore me anyway, but I'm just being polite.
Oh my God.
Just kind of searching over to do that. What's in your hand? Hey, open up your hand. What's in your hand?
Oh,
They look at you straight in the face. I can see your hand is closed. Like Hands closed. Open your hand.
There's nothing's in my hands.
Ophios, just open your hand.
Open your
Show
hand.
him- show him
And
there's
he
nothing
does
in
it. He does one of these. Look, it's open. Hold on. See, it's open.
Okay.
Nothing's there.
Yeah, Ophios is just gonna keep doing that. What?
What's it? Was a Stewie movie? Where it's like. I went back to see Jesus. Honestly, the tricks were really.
Ophios will eventually open his hand and say, "What? It's my toothpicks."
The guy like grabs.
That
the
was
thing and
actually-
says-
That was actually really expensive, man. Don't lose that one.
He takes the sharp object away from you, and you go back there. You go behind me or something. You just go away. Why do you
That's not
love
how
me
cats
so much?
work.
Stop
Daelric, that's not how
loving me.
cats work.
I don't like you. So you give them the dagger, and they eventually kind of take everything. And she says, "We'll talk in the morning," and she leaves, and shuts the gate.
Cool.
Wait. Darn it! I should have thought of that earlier. Oh well.
Too late.
I could have hexed the dude.
Cat.
Is Hex verbal?
I think so. I think it's the only component. So it's like.
The guy's like, "Hey, chill. Hey, back it up, sir."
What
doesn't
movie was
say
that
that.
where he's like, Silence of the Lambs. It's like, or whatever he does. Like, what does he do? What does he do?
Verbal, somatic, and
Aquarius.
material is what's checked on it.
Like farva beans. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You never saw Silence of the Lambs?
Wait,
No.
Scott.
Actually, no.
Verbal,
That's on my
somatic,
list.
and
It's on my
material
list.
is checked. I don't think I need material checked.
I honestly, I don't know. You just check it on the like Google it, and you'll find the answer for that one. All right, moving on. So you they log you in the cell, and they just leave you there. They leave like a guard in the room, but not like they're sitting there and watching you explicitly. They're just kind of like, "Yep, I'm a guard. Happens to be in the room in case somebody does something foolish and I notice it." But they're not like actively going for you guys or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Gosh darn it! So I gotta constantly be re-talking to myself to up my disguised self with a freaking guard in the room.
Yeah.
I imagine we're probably conversing just off and on, so maybe whenever you're like, you can give us a signal that you need to cast it, and Rena and I can strike up a conversation. By
all
all
night
means.
long.
I don't know. Whenever he needs to.
Because I mean, he can do that if he stays awake all night.
Yeah, that's the only way.
You can't hide your face while you're sleeping.
Unless I have clothes or something I could cover my top half with, or somebody else covers my top half.
They took all your additional supplies.
You got a shirt, right? He's not naked. We're not naked.
No, he's wearing clothing.
Yeah.
And his head
Take
is
everything.
his head is the head of a goddamn snake. This is big.
Use your shirt as a blanket and just kind of lay it over your head while you sleep.
All right.
Or get caught as a snake.
Well, I would say that I could like stay up so that because Yondis is the better. Well, I don't know. I want to say that Yondis is the better like talker, but
Oh.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if he's answering the questions and we're just tired and don't answer, then hopefully he'll come up with something.
I still have my crystal, right?
Yep, they didn't take that off the person.
Okay.
Daelric, I probably
Tizzy and
know-
Dale's not like super magically inclined. What's up?
I probably know, like, just from being a noble, how to do trading and, like, meeting with other nations and that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like am I doing something dumb as somewhat, like, should I have a knowledge right now that I'm doing something wrong, or is everything okay?
I
My
think.
family does trade for a living.
Thank you, Josh. Honestly, you have no clue because you've never been to Tizzy and Dale before. You never really left
Okay.
the comfort of your home before. Remember we were discussing that originally. Never really went very far for the capital city
true.
of the biggest nation. You know.
But I wasn't taught it or anything.
Ophios will actually strike up a conversation with the guard.
Go ahead, man.
And he'll say, "Listen, I was here to meet with my friends who's has business frequently with the Smiths, and that Hufue's name escapes me, and I don't remember where my notes are because I hid them. And he was gonna say that the Hafue he met's name. That he
We can give him a terrible name, like a super lame name, like Hafu or something like that.
shout out at somebody who's on your community game. I don't remember what his name was.
Could be even worse. Could be like Uwu.
Uwu.
Whatever. So halfling guy. We all know who you're talking about. He was drinking.
Hafue, yeah. So he'll say, "Listen, that's my man's. That's the guys who sends me here. I have weapons awaiting for me. Under the names Ophios. If you looks, you'll understand. I am here for business."
Well, when I see the captain, I'll let her know. And he kind of like nuzzles into his chair. Imagine that'll be in like 7 or 8 hours.
What's your name, man?
Let's not
like
do
it.
the whole we're friends thing.
Oh, no. We're, obviously not. Yeah. Just, I was hoping you could help us out. Might be able to put in a word with my family. That's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
I mean, if you try to bribe me, that's fine. You're welcome to bribe me. It ups whatever you're being charged for to treason, and then it actually opens the opportunity for beheading.
So we are being charged
Bribing.
for some things.
I don't know. Like I said, let's not do this whole talk thing. I honestly don't give a fuck about who you guys are. I don't know if you know this or not, but you're not the first ones in here.
Are we the only
You
ones
should know
in here?
who's we
Yeah,
are.
you are. You are the only
Okay.
ones in there.
Okay.
The funny thing is, the freaking dude's head is back in the freaking bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh
Pull
darn
it
it!
out. They'll pull out a man's head.
Will it look like the elf? Weird elf version or
So, how do you handle this whole sleeping transformation situation in Rena? That's a really good question, and it'll get answered.
Next time.
next time
Dragon
On
Ball
Dragon Ball
Regicide.
Z. Ophios will kind of just cover himself up like he's covering up for light
Okay.
when he sleeps.
Just kind of like throw the hood over your head, so on and so forth, stuff like that when you go to sleep.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'll make a check.
I'll just sleep like off and on, not very much though.
I imagine everybody is to one degree or another.
Do you want me to roll a stealth check to counter whatever your open roll is?
I mean, I'm gonna let you roll with disadvantage because honestly, you're passing the fuck out.
All right. It's not terrible, but
We didn't see it.
Roll it again.
oh gosh darn it!
Was it an above average roll?
It was an 11 and a 16, so yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So,
It's an 11 still. Yes!
I can daddy roll that because we changed the way that the rules work. So,
shoot. Do it. You won't.
can I get a
He
guy?
has to roll a 3 to tie.
Or a 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 or 4,
One.
and it's.
God
Yes!
damn it!
Yes!
I won!
Why didn't you use one of your daddy dice?
That is a daddy die.
You just rolled a flat D4.
That's a daddy. Oh, haha.
It didn't do the thing, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
my
but-
apologies. That's a good point. I have to re-roll now. 'Cause
No,
I didn't click the right
no.
button. Listen,
Messy.
I would make you guys do
You
it.
did.
No!
Oh!
I didn't have a daddy die to begin with.
That's what I was
Oh,
saying. I didn't
alright,
think you
so
had any.
fair,
I called
fair.
your bluff, bro.
Okay.
Why are
Can't
you?
do it.
Quit clicking it. All right, that's fair. That's
I'm
fair.
sure it'll show up. Just keep clicking it until one goes in there.
Okay, here. Huh?
No.
Huh?
No.
Somebody's gonna give it
Yandis.
to him.
Hey!
Somebody
wait.
gave it to him. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. You
That-
need
that-
to put one back in there.
That was
Wasted
legit.
it.
That was me. I did that.
Oh.
All right. So, anyways, yeah. So I failed. God damn it! Good call on rolling that, because what if I did succeed? That would have been terrible. All right. Yep. Failed. So you succeeded, sir. He does not notice.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you are able to spend the night sleeping. The next morning, you guys wake up. One of the first things you just and
Ophios is used to waking up before everybody else anyway, for that reason.
And so you are able to kind of like get yourself ready, whatever. And my apologies, get yourselves ready for the day. And eventually she's going to come walking into the room. And she's going to have a look on her face like, let's talk. And as she kind of does that, she looks at the guard and says, you're dismissed. He goes, well, this is the thing I wanted. So she's like, no. Dismissed. Shuts the door behind her and walks up to the door between your cell and where she's standing on the other side of it. And here is where we'll stop the session for the day.
Whose door?
Your
Our,
prison
like,
cell door.
bar or
Yeah.
whatever.
You guys are all in one room together.
Wait,
so.
does that guard still have my toothpick sword?
They have everything. All the guards have everything in another room.
I want my stuff back!
You'll get it. Relax.
Maybe.
God.
We'll kill him. It's fine.
Kill him.
Rena, who are you? How can we find you? Why do we care?
Who are you?
I want to go longer. I want to go
Good
to
question,
11.
Scott.
It's not 11. It's 1:10 in the morning.
11 my time.
20
Sorry.
more
Well,
minutes.
You're
am-
important. Say all your things.
Thanks. I'm Rena the Destroyer, if you did not already know that. I stream here on Twitch, variety streamer. I am working on finishing Resident Evil 4, which is going really well. I'm really good at sniping, not to toot my own horn, but I'm just kidding. But anyway, that's fun. I'm gonna play Walking Dead all the way through soon, and then I've got a bunch of other games to play. So yeah, you can find
Like
me
Borderlands 2 when we have a chance to play together.
Yeah, we need to do that.
down. Just let me know. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
You know me. You know where to find me.
Messy.
Hey, what's up? I'm Messi the Destroyer. You can find me at messythedestroyer.com. It's Messy Cat. Yeah, I've been swamped lately, man. Next week I got a wedding I gotta go to, so I won't be here, Daelric. Just heads up.
Oh, heads up, everybody.
No.
No messy next week.
That sucks. Because I really do want to know what's gonna happen, but I guess I'll have to watch instead of play, and that irks me.
That's okay. We'll replace you with Vaku. Like, oh, did I say you were in the same cell?
Just he's like
Actually,
he's in the back,
yeah.
like in the corner.
Please.
Oh, I'm actually the guard that they
I
hired.
did point him north.
Let's
Last time
not
we
do
spoke.
let's not do the whole talk thing. I'm not good at that. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So twitch.tv/roll4charity. That's all. All right, moving on. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I haven't been formally allowed to speak yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tyler. Tell
Go
us
ahead,
about one of the amazing charities you're always raising money for.
Oh, I'm talking about the charities, not me.
I mean, you can talk.
That's
about
fair.
You can talk
That's
about
fair.
Sorry.
No, there's an amazing charity that I'm going to be fundraising for on November 23rd. I've got a big event that I'm putting together in Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. It's going through Extra Life, which is part of the Children's Miracle Network group. We're looking at November 23rd. I will be flying to Cincinnati and putting on a bigger event, and hopefully have some friends coming wink wonk for you
Oh
guys
yeah, I'll
to
be there,
enjoy.
man. Just let me know.
But that's the charity thing. You can find me over on twitch.tv/apocalypto_12. Same thing on all social media except for YouTube, which is no underscore, just apocalypto12. Hopefully I'll be getting more videos up on that. There will be an announcement video for my charity stuff. I'll also be over on Margaret Crone's channel, twitch.tv/Margaret Crone, for coming back with Wrath and Glory Warhammer campaign. Where I might end up being a regular. We'll see. Some stuff to be discussed. And then on Wednesdays over on the Lost Initiative show where I play Vashra. And hopefully I'll be doing a lot of cool stuff here in the future, playing games with Rena, Messi, and hopefully have a cool thing I'm kind of working on behind the scenes that includes Daelric. So as soon as I can get that up and running, the better. But I am swamped. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be a fun ride because I'm trying to go full time as a content creator for right now, and maybe job searching because I got laid off a couple weeks ago.
Hugs. Hugs for Tyler? I can't hug you from over here. I'm sorry, boy. Okay.
It's a cat in the way.
Okay, so real quick, I actually decided last second, my wife, I was supposed to go on vacation starting tomorrow, canceled it because the house is chaos and it's making life difficult. So we're actually going to be taking vacation. I'm going to try to find time in there to like catch up on some of the old stuff that I have to do because I'm way behind on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. But yeah, so yeah, that's a thing. So you'll be seeing me around. Okay, bye everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Most likely see you next Friday, but you'll also see you way before that because Maggie's thing on Monday. Bye.
I might be in the chat maybe Friday.
I might.
Yay!
I might be doing something between now and Friday. I don't know yet.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye. Rena too. And Tyler's a person. Bye. Bye.